Laughlin, and welcome back to Side Hustle. This week we are going to talk about the post-launch slump. This is a thing that happens after you have launched your project or your side hustle. It has gone live, gone out into the universe, you've posted it to Facebook, you've gotten all the likes and all of the nice messages, and now it is quiet. And now what do? A lot of your energy up to this point has been about planning and getting ready for that crucial launch date. Hyping up the internet and getting everybody really excited about when your project comes out. I definitely ran into this problem when I launched my podcast, where after I launched, everybody listened to it, everybody listened to the first episode, everybody sent really nice text messages and emails saying how much they liked it, and I uploaded another episode, and then a couple weeks later, another episode, and it's 18 weeks later now since I've launched, and I get far fewer downloads per episode than I did at the very beginning, and that's because the excitement has run out. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just what happens. It's really hard to sustain interest after you launch, and that is okay. So I am going to talk about ways that you can combat the post-launch slump. That is inevitable, it is going to happen, and it's going to be okay. So my first tip is something that I'm going to come back to in next week's video, but it is to iterate and pivot. When you launch your project, whatever it is, your blog, your product, your service, your podcast, you're going to essentially have a version 1 of whatever you're doing. It's going to be the first try, the first attempt at whatever you're doing, and it will likely be a good, solid try. But there are going to be things that you can improve upon. There will always be things you can improve upon, whether it's technical or stylistic. So you can use this time to really the next blog post, the next podcast episode, the next video. But what helps is if you keep an image in your mind or a word or something that brings you back and centers you and reminds you why you did this to begin with. So for my podcast, it's this idea of creating a space that is for women and by women and celebrates women. And it's a space where I can really hear myself in it, and I hope that I'm creating a place where other women like me can hear themselves and hopefully be inspired and gain something from that. And on top of that, I also think about how I want to learn how to do this. The most discouraging moments during this process have been around technical problems and situations where my audio didn't sound quite right or I didn't know how to use a piece of equipment. And remembering that all of this is part of the struggle that is learning has really, really helped me to keep pushing through. And the fact that I have to stay on a tight deadline is also a pretty good kick in the pants. Finally, my third tip is to get other people involved, whether this is through collaboration or sponsorships or anything really. If you get other people involved, it will, number one, keep you accountable. You know, you can't let these other people down, so you have to do your thing. And number two, it'll be more exciting for you. It'll change things up, it'll shake things up, and it'll also shake up your project in whatever way that these people will be involved. So these are my 3 tips. I hope that they were helpful. Just know that if you are going through a post-launch slump, we have all been there and it is tough. So, just keep pushing through. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Femsplain. You can find me on Twitter at Alex Laughs, and my podcast is on Twitter at The Ladycast. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye!